Hey everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel Sport Bike Menace. So today we're going to change out the chain. I already changed out to a new sprocket, and I've done a YouTube video on my channel changing out the sprockets, or the rear sprocket at least. So if you want to watch that video, look in my video list and see if you can find it, because I have a lot of videos. But anyways, so all the tools you're going to need to change out a chain. Now there is different sizes. I went with a 520 chain and sprocket. You have to change them all together if you're planning to do a 520. Now if you plan to do a 525 or 530 or 535, everything has to be in conjunction together. So the tools you're going to need is a special tool, which is the chain breaker, and also the riveting tool. Now this is from Motion Pro. I've been using this for a good while, and it's very durable. Now it's not cheap, and I'm not sure if like a motorcycle shop will sell this, like at the dealership. I think I ordered this online. Again, you can use Motorsports, STG. There's a lot of motorcycle shops, or I think even Amazon sells this, and I think I ordered this from Amazon, matter of fact. So if you search it up, chain breaker and riveting tool, I think it should show you this kit. They have more of a heavier duty one. I would prefer going with the more heavier duty one, but it is what it is. But it hasn't broken, so it gets the job done. But anyways, you need a grinding wheel to grind off the rivets. Now this is the job that I did before, because I did this chain, but it has a lot of miles and it needs a new chain. So let me see if I can zoom in. So those rivets got done with this kit. So you need the grinding wheel to grind those rivets, and the chain, obviously. And this tool is a 14 socket, and is to use with the chain breaker, because the top and bottom are 14s. What I use is a wrench for the bottom, and then a socket up top. It has these holes where you can use this to twist, but it hurts your hands, so I just use a socket, and I get more to be able to tighten. Just be careful, and I'll explain the rest in the video, meaning that if you go and over tighten, I'm sorry, my trash is flying away. If you go and over tighten the rivets, you will damage the chain, where there will be a permanent kink, and a kink will look like this. And when that kink happens, it's not going to be able to go around the sprocket. It's going to damage your sprocket and probably break the chain eventually. So make sure you guys don't over tighten when you go to the riveting part. But yeah, so this is a socket, and I'm using the power, or I don't even know how you call it, a power drill. Anyways, this is a 36mm socket for the axle nut. And again, I'm trying to do this as fast as possible, so I don't make this video too long, and we're going to cut through it as much as possible. But anyway, then you have a 10 and a 12 for your adjustments, right? Because you need to loosen this stuff up so you can move the wheel forward, so you can loosen the chain, and then the chain will be able to pop off. But once you cut the rivets. But anyways, we'll get more in detail once we get into that. It's just the stuff that you need. But anyways, the 36 socket is for the axle nut, which is right here. That's your axle nut. And then your chain adjusters, which is going to be a 10 and a 12. So that's all the tools you're going to need to get this job done. But anyways, once I get further into this, and I'll be able to explain what I did step by step. But we'll be right back, guys. Alright, so we're back. So I already grinded down the piece. So remember, I had 2 rivets here, so I grinded one so I can use the chain breaker. So, and on top of that, I already moved the tire forward, so the chain is completely relaxed. And actually, I did forget, you do have to take the tire off so you can take the chain completely out. So regardless, you're gonna have to take this tire off. And then I already took the axle nut off, so I already did that also. And again, the axle nut was on the other side. So I already skipped some of the steps, but you guys will be able to do that as you go along, meaning loosen the axle nut, loosen the 12, loosen the 10, push, make sure that all that gets rotated inwards, push the tire forward and the axle will move forward, loosen the chain. On top of that, it does that. But to take this chain off, you do not need to actually take the tire off. It's when you put the new chain on. And I'm thinking I'm actually lying for that too. Actually, you don't need to take the tire off. I'm lying. But you still got to loosen up the axle nut and then move the tire forward. So do not take the tire off, because everything can get done right here. It's just going to be uncomfortable, but everything can get done here. But anyways, so my girlfriend's gonna be recording so you guys can see what I'm doing with the tool and what I mean by that of how I picked. Now mine's again is, we're doing the chain breaker, so I have to figure out which one is the chain breaker, and once I figure all that out, I'll be able to come back and show you guys which assembly I picked to actually do the chain brake. And I know this is one of the pieces, and again I gotta remember which one it is. This is the riveting one, which I know that because of the circle board spot that opens up the rivet. And I think this flat one right here is to push the rivets out. So anyways, but you grind that, loosen up the axle nut, push the tire forward, and we'll go to the next step. All right, so I actually figured out how to use this to do the chain breaker. It's been a while. Last year was the year I broke chains and did chains. So you're gonna need the spring, and you're gonna need the flat one. Now mine's is a 520, so I'm gonna need a you know, this piece right here to break the chain. Spring goes in first, and then this one, and then this piece goes over top. And then I'm gonna explain, this bottom hole right here is for the pin to slide out of, and then the chain will be considered broken. But once we get to the next step, we'll restart recording again so you guys can see how I'm doing it. So we'll be right back, guys. All right, so we're back. So this is how the tool is going to look like on the chain itself after you grind it off the rivet. That piece right there is called a rivet. Now if your chain is factory, you're going to rivet one, like these are considered, all of these are rivets. It doesn't matter which one you decide to pull off, it just matters that you grind it off and then use the chain breaker. So again, you guys can see that there's a little bit of the head of that pin, which is going to push out the other pin that's holding all this stuff together. So the hole is back there. So once we get to this part right here, we're going to compress this piece right here, and it's going to twirl in, and it's going to push and push that pin out. So right now my girlfriend's going to hold the camera, and then I'll show you guys how I do it, and you guys can do it your own way, however it works. But these are 14s for this for Motion Pros, and then basically it's going to be to tighten. Just make sure that you guys are at the right spot of the rivet, because if you're not at the right spot of the rivet and you're, let's say you're just hitting the plate itself, then you're going to damage the piece that you guys have. Once that piece breaks, you got to order that separate or buy the whole kit again. So do a lot of checks to make sure that you're at the right spot, because I mean, unless you guys don't mind damaging your tools. Okay, so to show you guys my progress, and then once I pull this completely out, then we'll be right back on camera. Okay, so this is my progress right now. but I'm just doing this so you guys can see what I meant. So it's pushing the pin out towards the back. You can see the pins have a little bit out, so just keep compressing until that pin completely comes out. Once that pin comes out, then the chain is completely, you know, done, and then you can, you know, take the chain out towards the back. Just pull the chain and you're done. So once I get this part done and we get to the next step, I'll explain. My chain is 112 links, so I gotta count and make sure that I'm at 112 links on the new chain. If you have an extended bike, I can't tell you how many links you should have, because again, I don't have an extended bike. I can go by my stock count, which is 112 links. Before you cut up your chain and you want to keep the stock chain length, search up on Google or call up your dealership for your year, make, and model, and they should be able to tell you how many links your chain is for your bike. So we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So I made a lot of progress. So I remember I already grinded that piece down and I was pushing out the pin. So this is the pin that got pushed out of this hole right there. So that's done. Now, why did I went with riveting instead of the clip? Now, clips to me are not safe compared to rivet, because this rivet's gonna go in and it gets expanded, and that's the best permanent solution. A clip is something that you can remove yourself. You can put it on yourself and you can remove it yourself. If somebody wanted to walk up to your bike and be an asshole, they can walk up and take that clip off. Now your chain is screwed. So that's why I do not do clips. Someone can tamper with it and, you know, your life is on two wheels. I don't take the chances with the clip. And I had a buddy that I was riding with, and his clip broke and the chain went flying. So anyways, so this is the factory, their factory that they gave me the rivet. So we're gonna do the riveting, but first we gotta cut this chain to length, and we're gonna cut it right here. So this is the new chain, this is the old one. This is 112 links. So I already counted 112 links on my old chain that I did the job myself, so I know that it's 112. So all I gotta do is just match it up from here to here. So again, I'm gonna grind this piece down, and that whole plate is gonna come off, and then I'm going to rivet all of this once it's back onto the bike. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So I ran the chain through, right? So I ran the chain through up top and then ran it through here. Now it's gonna be easier if you take this plate off so you can get to the sprocket, so you can rotate this. Make sure this is in neutral also. So once we do that, I had a basic, for me, because it was harder for me because I didn't take this off because I was in a rush. So I had to fish it through and try to make the sprocket do the work for me to get it to the point where it's like down here, and then I can grab it from the bottom end and pull it out. So I got the length that I need. So you can see that this one is the way it looks, that, and then this one also looks the way it looks, because the plate is going to complete the link. So now here is the plate, right? Now I put a lot of lube because again, you don't want this stuff dry rotting or just drying out and start cracking. So again, I lubed the crap out of it. So I even lubed the back side again, because all this stuff is supposed to be lubed anyways. So there's these O-rings. These O-rings also got to be lubed in, you know, both sides plus in the circle, and make sure again that it's well lubricated. Now this is the other plate that's going to go over top where the rivets are. There is a flat surface, and then there's one that's more rounded off. The rounded off is going to be facing towards me, and then the flat is going to go towards the actual rivet itself. And it comes with 4 O-rings. So once we do this, which I'm going to show you guys right now, okay, so one end is going to go inside of the hole, right? So it went through, and then once I can grab the other one, sorry, I got only 2 hands. So we're gonna get to the other side. Okay. So, see how it complete the length, right? Here's the back plate, and here's the front plate. Now, what I'm gonna do is lube up these O-rings, and they're gonna go on this side of the plate. Again, to show you guys, will be right here, and we'll put the plate, and we're gonna rivet it. Now, how did I have this set up to rivet? Is the one that has like a ball end, so it can spread those circles apart, so it can lock it in place. And then this has the 2 circles, so towards the back it has the 2 sides where it holds it in place, so I can rivet those in. So yeah, we're gonna get to that now, and for me to do the rivets and finish up all the lubing that I got to do, and then I'll be back with you guys so to show you guys more or less how I have it set up, and see if I can do it, and to be able to show you guys. And then I'll show you guys the finished product. Now, if you guys don't need me at this point and you guys go to, you know, finish ahead, when you go change or chain adjustment, that's going to be your preference. Now, there is a specific length that for loosen and tighten for a new chain. I'm not no professional. I like mine's into the medium, loose and tight, so like I can still have like a little wiggle room, because I feel I don't want the chain too tight where it damaged my aluminum sprocket, or the chain is too loose where it's, you know, going to pop off the sprocket. So I try to find like the happy medium. But anyways, we'll be right back, guys. So I made a mistake. So before we go to the riveting part, so that riveting tool that I told you guys about, this is not the one. Okay, this one, right? We're not going to use this one yet. I forgot we got to push the plate in first. So we got to push that plate in so it shows us the riveting. This is the part you got to be careful. If you compress this too much, this is where the kink is going to happen. So when you go to push this in, you need enough space, almost just like what these are, and compressed in. But again, you don't want no kink, but you need enough space so those pins can come out and you can rivet. But I'll show you guys what I mean once I press the pin, this plate in, and get all this stuff done, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So I'm done with pushing the plate in. Now again, I don't know if you'll be able to see how much of the pin actually came out, right? And I kind of just matched it up to that one. You're gonna have to do a lot of back and forth, because sometimes the hose does not line up with this tool. You gotta just make sure that those pins actually goes through these holes, and it does not squish them or any way possible. So to show you guys right there. And then the other tool that goes on the bottom of this, well, let's see if okay, is this plate. This plate has like a groove where they'll fit in, and it'll hold it in place, and then it'll push the other plate through. So once that's said and done, right, and you kind of like say, that's good enough, right? So you want to make sure that this does not have no kinks, because again, if it has a kink, you damage the chain, it's already screwed up. You can't fix it, it's just broken. I'm trying to rush this because it's starting to rain right now as I speak. But yeah, there is no kink in the chain. Thank God, because at first I thought I went too far, but when I, you know, checked it, there is no kinks. If I would have kept on going, I would have kinked it up. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to rivet this real quick, and again, we're gonna use that tool, the tools I was telling you about, rivet this up and finish up. I'm gonna try to get this done as quick as possible, so we'll be right back. Okay, real quick to show you guys the tools that I'm using. So this one has a single spot where the back of the rivet is going to fit, and then the front of the rivet where I got to make the rivet is going to be right here. So this is going to go right through that, just like that, and then we're going to rivet that piece right there. And then once I'll be able to show you guys hooked up, and then I'll rivet these two up. And remember, you don't want to make it too big where it splits the ends and cracks it, because again, then that means you just damaged it. You just want it to warp enough to where it locks it in place. but we'll be right back. So to show you what stock looks like, and then I'll show you how I did mine. We'll be right back. All right, so we're done. I'm sorry I wasn't able to show much because it's raining. You see it's raining. So anyway, so I ribbed them. This one I made it a little bit too bigger than that one, which I think this one's too big compared to that one. But the point is that they are done and they're not cracked. So I didn't go to the point where it was the breaking point. So they're done though. And again, I don't know anything really specifics of how you say it, like where millimeters or min and max of how big these holes need to be and how tight it needs to be. It's just more of visual. Just make sure that, you know, they kind of look almost identical to the stock ones, to those, and, you know, try to split them up to a point where you feel that it is perfect. And again, mine don't have no kink. I don't have to force it. So, you know what I'm saying? So that came out good. Now I just got to finish up everything myself, adjusting the chain and putting the axle nut back on, and then I'm done. So guys, if you're new to the channel and you guys like watching these how-to videos, I have a whole bunch of them. I don't know if I'll be making more of how-to videos. I gotta see what else I haven't made yet, but we'll make more if I have to. Meaning if there's any more work to do to the bike. But anyway, so if you're new to the channel, subscribe, put a comment, any questions. Also, I'll try to answer them the best I can. I'm not a professional. I just work on my bike because I like working on my bike, and it's the cheapest option for me to do it myself. So anyways, everybody ride safe, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.